Right, hi. Hey, it's me. I'm back. And today I'm going to quickly talk about my trip to Bangkok and the art gallery that I went to in search of Mr. Alex Face. I did not find Mr. Alex Face, but let me play right there for a second. I was in Chiang Mai, and my last night of Chiang Mai, I think I talked about this. I did in a different video, but I don't think I talked about the fact that I stumbled upon random Alex Face big uh, painting. Yeah, there's Alex Face. That's not him. That's not Alex Face. But it was very interesting. It looked. It's just paint, but it has like I zoomed in there, and you can see like the texture, and I couldn't like. There was nothing that said nearby, like, and it's obviously I'm outside. And so this is just through glass. And I was like, I've been walking, I walk past this thing all the time. And I had no idea that it was just like right there. So I couldn't go in because it was closed. And I don't know that there's anything to see inside anyways. Let's walk in the dark. I think there was a guard too, like nearby. He might have been like, dude, what are you doing? Very empty. And it's way more uncomfortable to take walking videos. And oh, this is not Bangkok. This is me. They said it's Bangkok, but it's me, like an idiot walking from the bus station to the BTS and sweating and dying and sweating. There's some random walking. And then I went to Lumpini Park and saw these people getting too close to the water monitor, who was in the process of eating a fish. Now I'm going forward. I found out where the gallery was really, I got a hostel. And I'm playing the 21 second. Oh, and there's some art across from it. So I got a hostel in Bangkok, and the gallery was really close. Like I found out before when I was talking about Alex Face. And I was like, oh, I'll go check that out. I'll go check out his artwork there. Um, they didn't have his artwork up, but they did have a poster of his artwork, and they did have a book, which I'll bring up later. All right, so here is the page that I found this guy's artwork on. This is the art of that I went to. I didn't expect this. Nawin Nuthong, born in 1993, Bangkok, Thailand, lives and works in Bangkok. He's a Thai contemporary artist and curator, exploring the connections between history and cultural media through a wide range of mediums, melding myths and legends with pop cultural references from video games, comics, and film. He examines the role technology has to play in reconfiguring the learning and understanding of history. So this is what I stumbled upon. So yeah, oh, it's interesting. I took video. They play the video and now it's 3 minutes. So I walked into this place and it was dark. And I talked about this before, but when you get there, there's just a random two buildings side by side. One building I couldn't see inside, so I had no idea where I was going. And then I walked down the path and turned, and then they had a door, and the door was locked with like it had like paste on top, like you couldn't see inside. So I like randomly like open. I'm like, is this okay? And another door says like staff only. So I'm like, well, this one doesn't say staff only. So I open it up and there's just like a guard standing there. He doesn't look surprised or like, how dare you? Where are you going? So I walk in, I'm like, is this okay? And I've done this before, like in Thailand. I always just go like, well, I'm not supposed to do something. They'll kind of like go like, ah, and then I'll go, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Oops. So he didn't tell me, go away. And so I just like walked in slowly, like, is this okay? Am I in the right place? It didn't look at all like I was in a place that I was allowed to be when I first got in there. From my video, this looks really bright. It is not this bright. It is very dark. I might try and like show it, like make it darker just so you can have an idea. And I talked about this before, but this is the weird feeling about galleries and about these like art galleries and installations is that it always makes me feel like weirdly, like I'm like weirdly existential and weirdly like, do I like art? Am I into this? Because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know if I think this is good, if it's bad. I have no clue. The videos ended. And I'll play it again. Let's play it again. So I walk in, and I mean, I liked this. But the thing is, I would have liked this more if I had just come from like the metro, the BTS, the Bangkok transit system, metro, and you walk up, and if you just like saw this and it was just like there, I would have loved this or liked it, or liked it. What I didn't know that I found out later was that all this stuff, maybe there's like a game aspect to it that I only later found out when I left and was like, okay, I don't know what I feel. I left and then saw like, you know, um, a pamphlet. I like these little like crow things. I have a fit. They're like the evil crows. That's what my guess is. They've got red eyes. And I guess you're supposed to like figure these things out. I mean, I did think that was very interesting and inventive. I mean, it had all these different things. There's a crow, and I don't know, I like it. Sculptures, and the crows are like fighting over the pencil down there. Like it's fun, but the thing is that this is the thing about galleries and art installations and everything is that like, yeah, it's fun, but it's set up in such an unfun space. You know what I mean? Like it's such a blank room, random room. In the first video that I showed that I was walking towards the buildings, that's what was going on in that. There's a girl, and she was just, she looked like she might have been Thai, and she was just as confused as me about where to go and what to do. So I was happy about that. And I came in, and then later on, she must have followed me. Like, I'll just follow this guy. That's what I normally do. I'll just follow this random person, and hopefully they know what's going on. So we both go there, and and so there's another person in there eventually with me. But honestly, she looked just as like meandering as I was. Like, what is this? What am I supposed to get out of this? What is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of art? What do I feel? Do I feel anything? Again, I like the that first part of the video. I like those things. I like the movement. I like but honestly, I saw in my quick days of NFTs, I went bang. I went to, I did NFT stuff, and there's one, I still have some comment down below, that description down below. I've got some NFT stuff on Tezos and on the object.com Tezos. They had a lot of this kind of stuff where it's kind of like referencing old GIF animations, video games, and that kind of vibe. And I liked it. It's interesting. It's interesting what makes. I bet you could buy this for $5 billion. Let's go back to the website now. Installation. This was there, but I didn't get a recording of it. That honestly didn't look. It looked like it was just made of like paper mache and like it looked very. The other thing about being in this room is like the guard was there. I don't like being watched, and I feel like I'm always being watched. And of course, in that location, I was being watched. He wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna like mess with anything, right? And so I just was like, okay, I feel uncomfortable. You're like watching me. Yeah. And so I kind of left. Looking at it from this, I did like the way that the curtains hung. It reminded me of like Mario. In Super Mario Brothers 3, it had curtains, like it was a stage play. And that's kind of this, it also kind of reminded me of Minecraft. Before I even understood, like I quickly grasped that there was like a video game, there's a lot of video game references, or where like it referenced the idea of gaming and 8-bit and all these things. And then I recognized that the curtains almost formed a bit, uh, not bit, but, it formed like a very old school aesthetic. And you can see from this picture that it's like trees. They're like almost like floating trees. But it was hard for me in my anxiety, I'm not saying anxiety, my weirdness of being watched, I couldn't really like, I just was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I want to see those little crows. One of the crows was, it doesn't show it. There was like ropes coming down, 3 ropes, and one of the crows was wrapped up in the rope, and I thought that was funny. I thought that I liked that. It was hung up like it was caught by the feet. It was just like upside down. Yeah, this is the front. So this is all you see. And there's no indication of like, go this way. So you would walk down that path there and then turn. And then the doors on that side where you would never see that on the opposite side of the building. Bangkok City Gallery proudly presents Fountain Foundation, a groundbreaking exhibition by Bangkok-based artist Nawin Nuthong. Did I read this already? No. This latest iteration of his artistic inquiry, and this is again the artist statement or the artist whatever. And I read these things, and it always makes me feel like it does it. I don't know. This latest iteration of his artistic inquiry delves into the shifting landscapes of cultural memory. I did read this. Through a suite of multimedia works, including animated GIFs, speculative fictions manifested as comics and sculptural installations, structures that shape our collective understanding of history. And the thing is, I didn't read this before I was there. And so I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's a tree. All right. It's Jeff's video game kind of thing. All right. And I mean, maybe you really should. Imagine going into a movie and like needing an explanation before you watch the movie. Maybe, I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing that says that you need to figure it all out, and you shouldn't have a written thing. I have been interested in time, but not in Marx's concept of time or scientific time. Bringing Karl Marx into this? The phrase, we have clocks, they have time, which I came across in a magazine, intrigued me. However, it is rooted in a colonial school of thought that I also find compelling to explore, though it is not quite what I am actually seeking. The notion they have clocks, we have time, adopted from the title of issue 36 of the Funambulist, provided a conceptual stepping stone for the developments of Fountain Foundation, catalyzing the Pong's deeper exploration of time. This evocative phrase critiques, I don't know, like I want to be open-minded, but then I read these things and I get like weird. The evocative phrase critiques the colonial imposition of standardized timekeeping. Is that a colonial imposition? Wait, really needs to give a shit about time. All those goddamn Euros came over. Those colonialists. A system that fragments, measures, and commodifies time while shaping historical narratives through linear constructs. Nuthong expands the vocabulary of his practice. I like this word. I read this quickly. The human tendency to privilege the present as the ultimate point of reference, which is chronocentricity, and chronosonder, which is the transitions between functional and nostalgic states of objects, memories, and practices. I feel like I have to be slightly schizophrenic, unless, I think one of my battles, I think it's a very Western, like we separate science and spirituality, science and religion, dating back from the not scientific revolution, but that whole time period. We split these two concepts. And what is the other thing? The rationalists. You know, in my own way, I feel like I have to be rational, and it's like I read these, and I think it's interesting, and it's am I guess too, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, all art is very amazing. It's very interesting. Wow, they're really saying a lot. And then you like see them standing and they're like facing a white wall. I've been in galleries where I'm like, okay, is this part of the art? Like that's not what happened in this gallery, but it's close. It's close to something like that where you're like, I could see a trash can and be like, okay, well, is this trash can part of it? Or no, no, it's just a trash can. Okay, it's just a trash can. All right. Did anyone see me looking at the trash can, thinking it was art? And so there's always that like fear of like, is this some fucking stupid shit? Or or is this like some interesting shit? These concepts inform the narratives within Foundation, where time is presented not as a fixed or universal measure, but as a layered and cyclical force that resists singular interpretations. That's cool. That's cool. As an LSD, the fountain emerges in the exhibition as both a motif and a metaphor for continuity and change. Its cycles of cascading water reflect the interplay of hope and curiosity. Then you read that, proposing a view of culture as perpetually in flux. The exhibition also reflects on two formative stages of his childhood, primary school and university, as pivotal in shaping his archeo-gaming methodology and its connection to stagecraft. I mean, archeo-gaming methodology. The exhibition draws from his experiences of stage blocking and interaction. Sculptures covered in textured surfaces and filled with metaphorical, literary dust evoke the interplay between theatricality and game design. I mean, again, I wish I had kind of like read this before I went in, and maybe I would have a different feel knowing what I was supposed to be getting or viewing, seeing. Because, I walked in, I'm like, what, where am I? What's happening? And I got some of this anyways without me knowing. Stage emerges as a ritualistic and world building space, intertwining narratives, backstage dynamics, and pre production processes. Okay, I don't want to read this whole thing because it's a long video. I was there like the second to the last day that it was available to be seen. Oh, and here's the leaflet in PDF form. Little crying guy running, and there's a buried, I can't think of what it's called. And then the crow carrying, maybe the crow is the master of time, and they're playing around with it. I mean, I like the crows. I did like those guys. So I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. So I did go to the library, bookstore slash library or whatever, and found this booklet of the artist that I was going there to begin with. This is Alex Face, which is kind of the main guy that I was wanting to see his artwork. And so there's just this book of his sketches from the past, stuff that he used to begin his artworks that he would put up on the walls or graffiti, street art, and just sketching out ideas and stuff like that. It's 12:30 a.m. for me right now, so I'm a little bit tired. I just had a compulsion to make a video. So if I seem a little bit like, hey guys, yeah, I really like Alex Alex Face, his style. I don't know what to say. This character, this baby thing, and I found, I noticed his artwork and I noticed his stuff a long time ago, and I just never investigated who it could be by. And how do you find out? I never mean for these videos to go long. I don't like them too long. But if you watched, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking the video. I don't know if it's because I left for a long time and then came back, or if it's because I've been uploading from Thailand, maybe, or or maybe no reason. But I used to get like maybe like 200 views, or 100, or 400. Depends on what I would write. Maybe that's it, titles, but it's going down to like 20 views. So it's kind of, someone recently commented that they like to watch my videos. So I'm glad that somebody is, and I appreciate you. And, people come and go, and I get it, because I don't watch too much YouTube right now. And, but I wouldn't be able to watch a meandering video like this. So thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. That's my Bangkok Art Museum exploration, or not art museum, art gallery and still exploration. Thank you so much. I love you, but I don't, because I don't know you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.